Hey everyone, and welcome back to Flow with Solaris. I am Melanie, and today I'm sitting down with Robert Alexander. He's the founder of Life Rhythms, and I love this title. He's an audio alchemist. So, Robert has been creating personalized healing music since 2012, and what he does is honestly something that most people haven't even heard of yet. The future is here. He creates custom soundscapes for healers, coaches, yoga teachers, and practitioners, and works one-on-one with people that are navigating anxiety, PTSD, depression, and major life transitions. So, Robert, let's start at the beginning. What was the moment that made you realize that music could be a healing tool and not just an art form?
Ooh, well, first of all, it's an honor and pleasure, Melanie, to have you have me show up. So
Yeah.
super grateful for that one. I've known for a long time that music definitely has some power, and at the same time, though, too, just well, even though I started the business in 2012, I started working with personalized music probably around 2013, 2014, like implementing it. So I've known for a long time there's some type of attributes that could be helpful for one to evolve in different ways.
Yeah. So walk us through what a personalized piece of healing music actually looks or sounds like, and how do you
Totally.
create something truly unique, like for one person?
So everything I do is more intuitive based, and it's usually very ambient. So the thing is, it's not just like, oh, hey, I'm going to make you something. Here you go. I was doing a meditation with somebody. I was walking him through a guided journey, and at one point, I was like, you know what? When people are responding well to the music that I create, why wouldn't somebody want something personalized for them? In fact, they could even speak out specific words that they can really relate to. It's like if you get a massage, and you walk away going, "Oh my gosh, that was so incredible." Or if you're doing like an immersion or something, and you're walking out of the immersion like, "Wow, that was just, I can really feel it," right?
Yeah, like that was for
Why?
me. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
that was uniquely for me. Like,
Exactly.
yeah,
Like, whoa! Not only that, it's just like I want to make sure I can pretty much like come back to that
yeah,
and get the essence of that, because within like a day later, you might be like, why am I feeling this way? Which I was feeling the same way after getting that massage or going to that event. So I figured I could tell a person what to say. That may not have the same weight. So if someone's booking time with me to book a session with them, usually the first 45 minutes of that 90-minute session, they could be anywhere in the world as long as we can understand each other.
yeah.
So in this case, basically, there's no music played in the session. This isn't like a traditional sound healing element. First 45 minutes, you share what's on your mind. And I ask that people show up sober. Coffee's
Cool.
okay, but like I don't drink, I don't, do cannabis or anything like that. I'm not anti. It's just not my thing. So at the end of the day, I figured why not show up and be on a journey that works well. So first 45 minutes, you could be feeling great. You don't want to change a thing in your world. Fantastic. You may not be doing so great. That's okay too. There's no right or wrong here. Like those old peanut butter cup commercials like in the 1990s or something, or like 2000s. Like there's no one way to eat a Reese's. Other part of like the session, I do a guided journey that's based on what you subscribe to. It could be God, universe, consciousness. It's all tailored with where you are. Now, again, there's no music being played whatsoever. Okay. Um, the intention is to get down to that origin point of where you are so you can really connect with the essence of who you are. So when I ask you, okay, here you are, how are you feeling? Just checking because I don't want to be like assuming, okay, well, you're doing great. Well, you're just, no, I don't subscribe to that.
You need the real.
So I'm sorry,
You need what's real and
I
true.
need what's real.
Yeah.
And actually, it's really for the person. And I'll say, okay, so here you are, you have a recording. And based on how you're feeling right now, imagine having a recording that's showing up in your world and you listen to it and it's amplifying how you're feeling in the moment. What information are you receiving from that higher essence? Or what information are you receiving from like what you subscribe to? And I invite you to share with me. It could be anything. And it could be any random words. You're not doing it to please me. You're doing it because it's really connecting with you. And you share it. I record it. And you know I'm going to be recording you. And you don't have to perform. I've had people sing. I've had people share just a couple spoken words. They're basically, they could be in a trance, basically. They don't even realize what they're even saying. It's like full blown download, right?
Wow.
And so they'll envision an image, ask them to envision an image that reminds them of where they are right now. And it could be anything. Now, thank goodness we have AI because you can prompt it. And the thing is, you send it over to me. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is away from the session, you get a piece of music with your voice in it. And I hold an intention. It's very intuitive based. Like I have, I'll use pianos. I don't want to use anything too dark or anything, something that might really help move and elevate. And most times than not, people are just like, whoa, like, how did you create this? Like,
Wow.
and it's specifically made for them.
For you. And how do they use it?
They can
Um,
use it in the morning,
right.
they can use it at night, they can use it when they feel triggered. The only time I would recommend for them not to use it is if they're driving,
Yes.
because if they're feeling really relaxed, you don't want to be like, and just like, no, you want to make sure. And remember, we're capturing this sober. They're not stoned, they're not
Right.
high, like no plant medicine in that way.
That's good.
They're really diving in that way. So I think I've seen people manifest cool things. I've seen them sleep well. I've seen them feel more organized. I've seen them feel more connected to themselves. Now that's just one component. Now, other times I've gifted people with pieces of music. Oh, you're not feeling well? I'll make you something.
Hmm.
So I'll do that, right? And I'll hold an intention.
Yeah.
Like literally, I'll hold an intention. It's not like I know exactly where to go. I might even be holding similar keys down, on my MIDI controller when I record. And most times not, people are just like, "Whoa!" Like I needed that. Like I
Wow, it's
really
like a
needed to hear it.
prayer. It's like you're packaging up sound and like this, but it's more than that. It's an intention. Does it have a lot of mantras? Does it have a lot of words or
Well,
what do they come out like?
so the music primarily itself is ambient.
Ah,
So it's very chill, very relaxing, very ethereal. You
nice.
could probably hear it in some type of like, I don't want to say like an Apple Music or Spotify type playlist kind of a thing. There's like a consistent rhythm. It's good because the mind likes patterns, right?
Yeah.
So there could be like a simple like when I say bass, I mean that'd be an actual like bass. There's a foundation rhythm, I guess you could say, or foundation tone that goes throughout the recording. So at
Yeah.
the same time, you could hear it and go, "Wow, this is really incredible." Someone else might listen to it, which I won't ever do because that's yours, right?
Yeah.
And so someone else might listen to it and go, "Well, this is cool, but I don't know if I can really vibe with it the same way." And I think knowing that it's your piece of music,
Yeah.
there's something where like nobody has that but me. Like there's times people would say, "I really don't like my voice. Is there any way you can make it a subliminal?" Yeah. So I'll
Yeah.
take it. I'll take their voice and I'll just put it behind it so they can barely hear it and it's still like there. You know what I mean? But I've
Right.
made music as an artist. Like I made music for Luxury Bed. I have music on Insight Timer. I do
Oh,
downloads. For instance, I've created one called Genie in Your Headphones.
uh-huh.
So it's like a five sound pack basically where you can listen to different ones. My whole thing is really meeting you where you are, like AI. At the same time, I'm not prompting any of it. Like
Yeah.
I've been doing, I mean, I've prompted music for sure, but me being a signed music artist, that's a whole other like avenue.
Wow.
Having a distribution deal, like I literally have like an 8 hour track that just got approved on Insight Timer for sleep.
Oh,
The
wow.
1 hour version of that has like 44,000 plays.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So
So
you're not
again,
new
it's
to this.
really, I'm sorry?
You're not new to this.
No,
Um,
no,
what
definitely
one
not.
thing that is kind of exciting, after we leave this plane of existence and die, how neat would it be to have a song and leave it like with your children or something, be like, this song meant a lot to me. I feel like it captures the essence of who I am. And like to share that with them and then they get to sit around and connect with you via spirit. And what a great connection with that song.
Exactly.
That's so
I
neat.
could say it's not only a legacy, it could be like an opus or
Yeah.
something like that.
So many things. Or yeah, if you're in the depths of the shadows, it can help you to heal and remember the truth of who you are, you
exactly.
know. Like whenever I'm getting a lot of dark thoughts or, just feeling fears and doubts, my mantra is remind me of who I am. And I love that because I can, I know the essence of my higher self, but how great would it be to just play that music that you created? That's so cool.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
there's a guy that I know on LinkedIn. He has a huge follower account, like
Hmm.
huge follower account. And we were going to collaborate on something together. Really great guy, super transparent, just just super helpful. he's a visionary. He's a forward thinker, very down to earth. He ready to collaborate on something. I can tell he was going through a time, like a tough time. And
Yeah.
so I said, hey, would you be open to doing another session? And he's like, sure. So we did it. And he wrote me a couple of days later. He's like, your music, your presence, like holy. I'm like, yeah, tell me. And he told me his result. He was able to manifest some
Wow.
things really quickly. And he's like, I want that to be our collaboration. I'm like, wait a second, like that's yours. Like we could take the music and you can share other things on top of it. Like that's like literally yours. It was like, I know, like I want this to be for my community. And he had a really beautiful post on it and things like that. Months later, he asked me, he's like, hey, would you be open to being a co-founder for the startup I'm creating? And I could have sworn he said that that music was a potential catalyst for that.
That's what
Now,
I,
not the catalyst, but one of them to help in that way. And when I would ask him, how's your music? How's that going? He's like, honestly, this is great. I don't need it anymore.
oh my gosh.
So it's a beautiful thing. And then a year later, I became a label manager, a little bit over like a year later, I became a label manager of this one label overseas. And they have music that's very soothing, very relaxing. So I reached out to the team and I said, hey, let me know if you have any questions about this. Because I asked the person, hey, this is available for your community. Would you like for this to be on digital streaming platforms?
Oh my
And he
God.
said, sure, why not? So I just put everything together and I said, here you go, team member, here you go. Let me know if you have any questions. I mean, they could have said, you know what? I don't think the DSPs, the digital streaming platforms, will be open to it. And it just so happened they said, yeah, it'll be out in 2 weeks.
Oh my God.
So now it's up on DSPs. Him being in his inner essence,
Yeah.
amplifying, being able to manifest, really being able to help others in that way. So,
Wow. I love that. So you can connect with the pure essence, not only of a person, but it could be a business or an idea and
mhm.
almost create like a blueprint. And now this is getting me thinking because with cymatics where you have those metal plates and you put sand
Yeah,
particles and then you get a sound and then it makes a mandala. So your music is almost its own mandala. Like,
it's like a sonic talisman or something, It's like when I had a mentor originally connect with me in 2012, and he would walk me through these guided journeys, I would ask him if I can actually record them. So this is
yeah,
prior to me putting music behind what I do or what I do with people one on one. And so at one point I was like, wait a second here. You know, here I am and I'm hearing myself in this state and it's easy for me to forget that. So why wouldn't I go back to that recording when I'm in that internal state where the internal dictates the external anyway? So why not be able to connect with the inner state of mind anyway? So when I was connecting with that one friend I was telling you about, at the beginning of our talk,
yeah,
basically it was one of those things where I was like, yeah, if this is what I felt inspired to do. That's actually the year that I came up with Life Rhythms, was that 2012 at the very end. And I was like, wait, why not put the music behind it? Because the right people will get it. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a sound healing thing. So when people ask me, well, what kind of frequencies do you work with? I tell them I work with your frequency. I go, well, how do you know? And I'm like, well, it's not how do I know? It's like, how can I help you?
yeah. But you do something to unlock it. So
It's a co-creative process. I could tell
yeah,
someone, feel this way, tune into your 18th chakra. And if a person doesn't believe in chakras, they're going to be like, what the heck are you talking about? Okay, like, this is kind of
yeah,
weird.
yeah.
Meet them where they're at.
Oh man. Okay, so you create custom soundscapes for practitioners to use with their clients. So how does that work and what kind of, I guess you kind of already answered that. What kind of difference does it make? Well, let's talk about practitioners, right? They're
Totally.
helping to heal people. So yeah, how does that
Okay.
work?
So basically, at that point, I guess technically I'd be like a work for hire,
Yeah.
you know, providing content that way. And it's in a similar place. It doesn't mean necessarily we're doing a full blown guided journey because, in this case, depending on what they need it for, do they need it for a podcast? Do they need it for, you know, content in general? Do they need something behind there? Or do they need like a download for somebody? Hey, by the way, listen to this piece of music. Do we record them? Do we use their voice, meaning the practitioner's voice? Are we collaborating on something together, just like what I was doing with that other professional who I know? So it really depends on where the person's at.
Yeah.
At the same time, I've had the people too, oh, I wanted to sound like Enya and, an XYZ. And I'm going, yeah, well, I may not be the person. At the same
Yeah.
time, like I do have a chakra collection. I've had people, oh wow, I want to use that. Can I use that for guided journeys? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, that's cool. We'll work it out. You know, so anything I do that's custom, anything I do for a business, number one, I don't like tearing holes in people's wallets. I really want to make sure if they're paying me, ultimately they're getting great value for it, and at the same time, we both feel good about the value that's being exchanged. So my whole thing is really with intentional and building rapport with individuals and businesses. So I've seen people go, "Oh, thank you for the free session," or "Oh, thanks for the free music." I'm like, "Oh, it's not free. I'm just not paying you for it. Or you're just not paying me for it."
Yeah. I love
So
that.
it's just one of those things.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, honestly, it's very flexible. It's not a mathematical thing. Well, I gotta tune this frequency and make it here. Like a lot of
Right.
people, they're very just like, oh, you're a sound healer. So what tone should I use and what key should I use? And it's like my whole thing's intention.
Yeah.
Like, what would you like this piece of music for? How can we ultimately co-create this together in a way, or I create this in a way where you're going to get value from it? So, for instance, the place where they were utilizing my music for their bed,
Yeah.
I was working with the company, and we came up with some ideas based on existing music that I had in my library, and we said, "What do you think?" And they said, "We like these, we don't like these. Is there any way we can have somebody do a guided journey, like over a campfire or something like that?" Great. Let me see what I can do, because I'm also a resource, not
Yeah.
only have a design background, there's other areas I've been able to bring the best to the table in that way. And that's a whole other conversation.
Wow.
So, yeah,
Well, as you're speaking, I'm starting to think, I love to do branding and I love to help people connect with that symbol. But like we could take it to the next level and help them connect with the sound too. Like this
yeah,
is the
we'll have to talk
future.
about my friend because I'm also involved with branding too.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, we could probably talk for a long time.
And that's
But
okay. It's all good. Whatever is
I
relevant and
know
on point for everybody.
this question I think is maybe more exciting though. So you've worked with people
Okay.
navigating anxiety and PTSD and depression and major life transitions. So what do you see happen when somebody connects with the music you made specifically for them, especially those that are really going through hard stuff?
If I'm doing a session for them, there's a pretty big chance there could be a breakthrough, even if it's super small, like without going like down the rabbit hole or anything, never meaning to. There was a woman, she was using kratom and creating like a kratom tea because she had like major panic attacks. And so like I think she had some pretty big like PTSD, like she was pretty shooken up.
Mm.
And I could just almost like immediately through a Zoom, she was like reaching for it. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, why don't we just like maybe give it 5 or 10 minutes? And this is before I made the piece of music for her. So
Oh,
when walking her through that, I asked her like, do you need to use it? Because if you need to, you can. But she didn't need to. So
yeah.
number one, being able to hold a safe space for somebody
Yeah.
is a really important thing to do. At the same time, I do have my protocols, but not in a point where like, here's my protocol. Like, number one, it's like yeah, I do have my methods. At the same
Yeah.
time, like I really want to make sure when I'm connecting with somebody, I'm not going to dismiss their anxiety. I know what it's like to have anxiety. I know
Yeah.
what it's like to have like depression. So then at the same time, when someone is on the other end of it, they're starting to feel relaxed or they might be crying to let out some of that extra tension or something. It's like that's one element. At the same time, are they using it to help them with it?
Yeah.
I haven't had many people be like, "Well, this is awful. Like, I can't work with it." I've had
Oh,
people ultimately listen through the session. I know they've been able to get some calm. Now, it depends on who I'm talking with because everyone's in different phases of their life. They could be having a good day and experience chronic anxiety. I
yeah.
guess that could be a safe way to say it.
Yeah.
At the same time, though, too, the first album I ever created, the catalyst was this one track called Giving Back. And there's an old friend of mine who I've known for quite some time. And her neighbor has, her old neighbor, yeah, I guess it would be her old neighbor, had this little girl who was, like, her mom was like, hey, can you make something for her? She has like some pretty big PTSD. So I made her 2 pieces of music. And I think her mom responded to one of them to give to her. And that was, I think, the catalyst from what I remember of my first album being made.
Oh my gosh.
Because I asked her if it was okay for me to use it. She goes, "Oh yeah, no problem," or something like that. And otherwise, I don't do that. I don't take people's pieces of music and just make my own albums from it.
Yeah.
It
And
just
that's
doesn't make
cool.
sense. So
Wow.
yeah, I mean, most people when they work with me,
Mhm.
when I'm co-creating with them, because it's not just about me. It's me
Yeah.
providing the environment. I really cannot do anything until I connect with the other person.
Wow.
So, in essence, in that way, like I know I'm highly capable of co-creating magic. The thing is, if the other person's unwilling to talk, I'm sure there could be some type of way. They have to be willing, though.
Yeah. Well, you seem to have a personality where I'm sure people feel pretty safe and they open up with you for the most part.
Oh,
I
thank
would
you.
think.
That's what I've been
Yeah.
told.
Yeah. You're very like natural and easy to talk to. So tell me,
Thank you.
Life Rhythms has grown into private sessions, digital sound baths, a radio show, a music label, and branding or something around that too. What's the bigger vision that you're building toward?
This is gonna be fun. Okay. Well, I ended up doing a bit of a silent brand, a silent repositioning, rebranding. So I created something even bigger than Life Rhythms. Because at one point, when someone says, "What exactly do you do?" I'm like, well, I could say I'm a connector, I build community, I'm multi hyphenate, but I'm not everything to everybody. It's like a handyman. How can I be there in a way that's helpful?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not playing big enough. So I created an ecosystem. The thing is, it's really an amplification of me. And the thing is, there's people who I work in tandem with. So at the same time, this isn't some like Facebook marketplace.
Yeah.
This ultimately is like, how can I be there? How can I help? This is very like white glove, very concierge. And at
Yeah.
the same time, I'm not just going to work with just like everybody, but I'm also just going to not work with people that barely have a budget either. People need help.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I'm very, very selective with who I work with
Hmm.
because being picky and being selective are two very different things.
Yeah.
So I figured bringing the best to the table is a really good thing. So the brand's called Purveyor, Prvyr.
Hmm.
So kind of like RVCA or something. There's no meaning behind it except for like a fancy like lifestyle brand and
Cool.
calling it Purveyor. So it really integrates everything that I stand for. Music, wellness, tech, community, lifestyle.
Yeah.
In a way where we get to be authentic to ourselves. There's community components, there's music components. It doesn't mean everybody has to go into the mall and buy everything. What if you need a personal shopper? Great. You know what? This is what I recommend.
Yeah.
Based if you're feeling confused, we'll go into the hub, which is one sector, like the central point of what this ecosystem is all about.
Wow.
So we have a lot to talk about. That's the bigger vision.
Yeah.
Having publicly was just like, hey everyone, look what I'm doing. It's been more like silent conversations.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
So much good stuff in there. Do you have a website that you can share?
For the Life Rhythms website, I do.
Okay.
Or for the other one, it's more like a coming soon page.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. Okay,
So
we got
P
Life
R V
Rhythm. So they
Y
can,
R.
if they want to contact you, how can they contact you right now?
Sure. I think through the Life Rhythms website, it's pretty good too.
Sounds good. Okay.
So
I'll go to email.
liferhythms.us.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Robert. Thank you for sharing your gifts. If you're somebody who's never thought about sound as a healing tool, welcome to the future or welcome to what is ancient as well. I hope that this has opened your eyes a little. It definitely did for me. And I'll have Robert's links in the description. And if you're a wellness center owner who wants to get visible and stay booked, check out flowwithsolaris.com. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much, Robert.
Oh, thank you. Such an honor and blessing.